This is serious. The nuclear tension between Russia and Ukraine is getting worse. Russia invaded Ukraine over a year ago. It started as a local fight, but now it's a global issue. Recent events have made things worse. Ukraine attacked a Russian military base. Russia says Ukraine used US missiles. Russia sees this as a threat from NATO. Russia says Ukraine attacked a military base in Bryansk. This base is far inside Russian land, hundreds of miles from the Ukraine border. Moscow claims the attack used US-made long-range missiles, making Russian leaders very angry. Russian leaders call the attack a terrorist act. They see it as a big step up in the fight involving the West. Moscow has hinted at using nuclear weapons. While Russia hasn't clearly said it will use nuclear weapons, the talk has worried people around the world. This change in Russia's nuclear stance is a big shift from before. Russia's old rule was to use nuclear weapons only if attacked with them first. Now, they might use them even if attacked with regular weapons. The attack on Bryansk and Russia's response have shocked the world. Many fear this could make the conflict more dangerous and unpredictable. The chance of a nuclear fight, even if small, has made the crisis much scarier. The United States has strongly condemned Russia's recent nuclear rhetoric. The White House has called the statements irresponsible and dangerous. U.S. officials maintain that Russia's threats are an attempt to intimidate Ukraine and its allies. Despite the heightened tensions, the U.S. has reiterated its unwavering support for Ukraine. Washington continues to provide military aid to Kiev, including the long-range missiles used in the recent strike on the Bryansk facility. The U.S. insists that its support for Ukraine is defensive in nature. The Biden administration has walked a fine line between supporting Ukraine and avoiding direct confrontation with Russia. The U.S. has ruled out sending its own troops to fight in Ukraine. However, the provision of advanced weaponry and intelligence sharing has blurred the lines of involvement. The U.S. is facing increasing pressure from some NATO allies to take a more aggressive stance against Russia. However, the Biden administration remains committed to finding a diplomatic solution to the crisis. The U.S. continues to engage in diplomatic efforts to de-escalate the situation and find a peaceful resolution. Section 4. International community grapples with escalation. The international community is grappling with escalating tensions between Russia and Ukraine. The recent attack on Russian soil and nuclear rhetoric from Moscow have heightened fears of a wider war. Global leaders are calling for restraint and urging diplomacy. The United Nations has expressed deep concern. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has urged both sides to avoid further escalation. The UN Security Council has held multiple emergency meetings. European nations are particularly concerned about the conflict spilling over. The suspected sabotage of undersea cables in the Baltic Sea has heightened anxieties. European leaders are stepping up security measures and calling for a thorough investigation. The global response to the crisis has been mixed. While many countries have condemned Russia's actions and supported Ukraine, others have remained neutral or sided with Moscow. The conflict has exposed deep divisions within the international community. Section 5. Sabotage fears add to European anxiety. Adding to the already tense situation, Europe is grappling with the suspected sabotage of undersea cables. These cables, vital for communication and internet connectivity, were severed in the Baltic Sea. The incident has raised fears of Russian involvement and highlighted the vulnerability of critical infrastructure. While no conclusive evidence has been found to directly link Russia to the cable cutting, suspicions remain high. Russia has the capability to carry out such operations. Moreover, Moscow has a history of using undersea infrastructure as a tool of aggression. The incident has sent shockwaves through European capitals. It comes amidst heightened concerns about Russian aggression and hybrid warfare tactics. European leaders are now scrambling to assess the damage and improve the security of critical infrastructure. The suspected sabotage highlights a worrying trend in the conflict. It suggests that the fighting could expand beyond Ukraine's borders, potentially drawing NATO into a direct confrontation with Russia. The incident has added a new layer of complexity and danger to an already volatile situation.